How does
She's a
that
whore.
make her a whore?
She's a whore. She rubs on people and then she comes to me. What is that? That's a whore. I'm not her pimp. She thinks I'm her pimp. I'm not her pimp. She's a cat. I can't be a cat pimp. I'd have to have a cat thing. I'd have to have
What the
whiskers.
hell are you talking about?
I have no idea. This is podcast number 17, where we are going to talk about making the switch. What does that mean? We're going to talk about going from one MMO to the other, specifically the other being Guild Wars 2. A lot of the times we get guys on the forum applying to the guild or whatever, just randomly asking questions, and there's a bunch of questions that always come up over and over and over again about what do you have to do to basically get into Guild Wars 2? How do you prepare for endgame? Do I need the best spec? How do I play my class? What's the fastest way to level? All these questions that you would normally probably set up for another MMO. And we're here to kind of explain that and how it's different while also being similar. But yeah, so I think that about sums it up. Just so you know, this podcast is live every Monday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern at alttabme.com/live. And we then publish the video to YouTube every Wednesday. Today we have a special guest. She will be showing up at around 6:30 Eastern. It is Malibu Barbie from Pink Day LA. It's the event that is going to be in Guild Wars 2 on October 20th that Arcanix is going to help run on YakSpend, our server. It is to promote breast cancer awareness, and everyone will be in pink. So we'll get into more detail about that when she shows up. For now, we are going to talk about making the switch. So I actually want to start with I want to start with you, Rux, because we had to convince you pretty hardcore to get into this game. So I want to hear about what were your when you first got to this game. What were some of the challenges that you ran across?
Oh boy. I don't know. I mean, it was pretty hard for me to get into it. I thought it was actually going to be a lot like WoW, and it's not, which I'm actually really happy about. Um, so some of the challenges, I don't know. I thought it was actually pretty easy to get into. The crafting threw me for a little bit, but I got used to it. I like the cooking best. I think that's the easiest. But the like everything was actually pretty easy. The mob stuff was really easy to go through. I like that everybody can help everybody. There's no like I tagged it, so now you can't help. So I wasn't sitting around all the time being like, well, I can't do this quest, which was really frustrating in a lot of the other games that I played. And everybody was just really helpful, so it wasn't really that hard. I definitely had blinders on for about the first 20 levels, just because I was looking at everything that was around. But then I started talking in guild chat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people that can help me with stuff. So
Is
it
that
actually
different
worked out
than
pretty
like
well.
when you first started playing WoW, for example? You know, like in an MMO that's been out for so long, now we know how to optimize our experience and level and do it quickly. You just said that for the first 20 levels, you were just enjoying the environment. Um, how does that differ from your experience from other games?
Well, I mean, with a lot of the other games, I felt like there wasn't really, I guess the whole like community wasn't there. Like even with the really new games and like with WoW, like if you'd ask somebody, people would either be like really rude or tell you, just go figure it out, go online and Google it. And then even with the new games, people would be kind of like, like they wouldn't respond, they wouldn't want to help you. So, I mean, it was like I just wanted to spend the time to try and figure out stuff. I didn't like I expected that if I asked somebody something, they'd be like, oh, well, just brush me off. So I tried to spend a little bit of time just figuring out stuff on my own. Um, and then I realized that people were actually really nice, even in like map chat, which I like because I don't know how to find like this Vista. And people be like, oh, you have to do this, that, and the other thing to figure it out. So that was kind of neat that it wasn't the oh well L2 Google kind of response.
Yeah, I think the map chat in this game definitely got a crossover from Guild Wars 1. The Guild Wars 1 community was always very strong and very nice to one another, which is rare for many MMOs. Most MMOs that I've ever played, you go into any general chat and you're Goatsy every 2 seconds, or Chuck Norris kicking your ass, something stupid. But it seems that people are very willing, and it might be because the game is so new, but I still think that a lot of the people transferred over and that attitude transferred over into the game. And so a lot of people are helpful and they're willing to guide you along the way. Plus, the game itself promotes teamwork without actually having to be in someone's party. Mike, I saw you nodding.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I noticed about the game is there's so many things, little things in the game that you almost don't notice that just promotes you playing with other people instead of against other people. Rux mentioned the whole thing where if you tag a mod, it's not just yours, and you don't have to be the first one to tag it so that other people are waiting behind you to get the quest done. It's if you want to help with that, you can help with that, or someone else can come along, and it doesn't hurt you. And it's just the way the game works kind of brings people together instead of pushes them apart.
Yeah, I think that's one of the strong
I
suits
really
of it.
like that.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you off. But like I played Rift, and they had the world events, which I thought were neat, and I like that Guild Wars 2 has that too, where you don't, and I guess they took it a step farther, and you don't have to be like in the same parties, whereas in Rift, like you had to party up to be able to really do a lot of the quests. And in this one, I like that you don't have to be partied. You can still get credit. You can do everything as long as you're there.
Yeah, which still makes me a little sad that Rift didn't do well, because now that they've just announced that housing, I'm like, oh my god, I want to play Rift.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an amazing system. Anyway, Guild Wars 2, if you're watching it, housing. Someone had a really good idea, actually. A guild hall, and then outside the guild hall is the guild city, and everyone can build their own plot in the guild city, so it's like an interactive guild area.
So then we can spend more time building than playing the game?
You could do both. Both. It's like a drink and a cup, You can't drink without a cup. You can't, it just...
It's like instead of standing in Lion's Arch,
Well,
you build stuff.
Yeah, instead of jumping on the bank, jumping off the bank, jumping on the bank, jumping off the bank, trading post, not on trading post, talking to guild chat, not talking to guild chat, going to the Hell Mist, playing some SPVP. Go fucking build a house. Right? Why? What? You don't like housing?
No, housing's fun. It's
just what?
For me, I don't care either way.
No, let Roasty talk.
spend more time trying to... Oh, okay. I was talking.
Hey.
And then you interrupted me with the no, let Roasty talk here. It was your fault.
Ooh.
Anyways, I would spend more time building a house than doing anything else.
Well,
in
so
the
you've
game,
just
and then
you've
I'd
just
probably end up
explained why
going
housing
broke.
is like the most important thing in this game.
Yes. It would be, yeah. No, if we had housing, I'd go back and play more. And
See?
even, yeah.
That's what's up.
But,
We don't.
Yeah.
It's not there. They haven't made it. Okay. End of that story. Anyway, why don't we go back to the topic? Yeah, how to make the switch. So, I want to. I've got it. One of our forum topics was great. A guy that came in, he was new. Here's a couple of his questions that he asked when he first came. He said, "I noticed there are at least 3 to 4 different currencies in use in the game, including regular money, karma, and gems. I got the money and the karma pretty much figured out, but what are the gems? I saw I needed them to upgrade my bank space. I'm hoping they're actually acquired in-game and not purchased with real money." So, Mike being Mr. Money Guy, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, gems are purchased through the trading post for either in-game gold or real money. Basically, gems and the gem store is ArenaNet's answer to not having a monthly fee. it's their pay-to-play type. That's not the official term, but it's their way of getting more money into the game, where you can buy gems for actual money, but they've also got it set up so that you can buy gems through a gold exchange, and that's driven more toward by supply and demand. So you don't have to buy gems for money, and you can use the gems to buy a lot of the stuff that's not really an advantage in any competitive style of play. You can buy boosters that'll give you like quicker XP gain or quicker karma gain and stuff, but most of the stuff you buy for gems is quality of life stuff. Like if you like outfits, there's outfits. If you want more dyes, there's ways to get dyes. Mini pets, like he said, bank slots, bag slots, character slots, all that stuff is bought for gems. But no, you definitely do not have to pay real money for it. You can pay gold for it.
Yeah, I think that's sometimes there's a misconception with it's the buy to play and then pay to get cosmetic stuff, I suppose. I don't know what you would categorize it as for what the pay system is, but it's not pay to play.
I'm not thinking of it.
Pay to look pretty.
Yeah, the one I was thinking of is pay to win. A lot of games are pay to win, where you have to buy the best upgrade through real money. Like World of Tanks, evidently, is one of those that you can really get yourself ahead by paying real money for it. But this is definitely not a pay to win. It's just a way to get the extra things that you want that they supply through the gem store, and you can either pay real money or gold.
Yep. So, someone coming into the game, they looked at the currency. They're trying to figure it out. Is that Nate's butt? Oh, it's his arm. Okay.
It's his arm.
I thought he was sticking his ass into the camera. I thought we were getting a pretty show.
No.
I think one of the big one is people are always going to a new MMO and they're like, I gotta hit max level, bam, because I want to hit all the really good content, and that is one of the number one things that we get asked over and over and over again. And here, I'll take the question that he posted. I want to position myself to be able to take advantage of endgame content and not have to play catch-up. Is there a recommended progression path that I should follow, or should I just be a free-range chicken and run randomly through the countryside? So my stepsister actually picked up the game. She's in our guild too, and I went and leveled with her for a little bit, and it was so funny hearing her, because she was a really hardcore WoW player, like really hardcore. And while she was leveling, she was looking around and she was like, I don't think there's anything to the south. And I looked at the map and there was like 75 different hearts. And she's like, I don't think there's anything to the south. I said, did you explore there yet? She's like, no. I was like, well, how do you know there's nothing? Well, because there's no quest hub. And I'm like, because there really isn't a quest hub. I said, you want to walk around. You want to kind of free roam like a chicken without a head. And this was not quite, it was confusing still. And when we got to the new area, she ended up running into like just a bunch of ghosts because she wasn't taking like the roads and stuff. I think if you wanted to have the best way to figure out where to go in this game, it's to follow the roads. Like, don't follow the quest people. Don't follow the, if you need guidance, look for a road, and the roads will eventually lead you to a town, lead you to some monsters. They'll have like offbeat and like, stone paths that'll lead you to different types of events that are going on. And sometimes when you're on a road, there'll be an escort quest there that'll lead to a big event, that'll lead to a giant dragon, that'll lead to, epic loot. So there's definitely a lot of free roaming in this game. And I definitely think that a lot of people are not used to that, and it's confusing at points. But once you get used to it, you look at the other MMOs that you used to play, or, for instance, me looking at Rift and going, man, I really want player housing, but I just couldn't go to a game that had, quest givers anymore. To me, it's like it literally updated the MMO genre to the point where if you don't do that in your game now, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
But you have the scouts, which I guess you can kind of relate to being quest givers, because they tell you where the hearts are.
That's true. Yep. So
And
there's
just adding that in there.
Yeah, so there's scouts in the beginning of each zone, I think, or they're kind of placed
They're
sporadically.
scattered
They're
throughout
kind
the
of
zone.
everywhere.
Yeah, and if you click on them, they'll reveal the map to you, and they'll circle things, and they'll tell you about the story. And I think that's where people get a little lost. Is people are very quick to hit escape, because I know personally when I did any other MMO quests, I would literally just be like, all right, how quickly can I scroll down and hit accept? And how many of them can I carry at once? And let's do this. But in this game, if you listen to what's going on around you, or you listen to those scouts or anything like that, they usually have information that will tell you why you're going there, and you don't have to read it. It's going to be voiced too. So there's a lot of voice acting in the game that actually helps you to get from point A to point B, which I think is nice.
But even if you do just skip through the voice acting of the scout, it leaves the hearts on your minimap, so you know where to go.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
I mean, you can still do that. You can still rush through it, and you'll know where the hearts are. You just won't know what the hearts do until you get there.
Then you won't know why the centaurs are there. Or the polar bear
And
people.
Not only with the scouts, voice acting in this game really pushes you. It like opens dynamic events. Someone might just run up to you and say, "Hey, I need your help over here." And if you actually talk to them, it starts up stuff and it pushes you to different areas to do quests and dynamic events and stuff too.
Yeah, that's true. So if someone came to you with that question of wanting to position themselves for endgame, what would you say to them?
That if they really wanted to rush for the game, that your ends or doing your story and doing zones that are your level will get you there the fastest. I mean, if they want to rush through, they can rush through. There's no stopping them. Can't tell them not to.
But I think people get confused because they get to the last level 80 zones, right? So they get there and they go, "Oh, well there's only 2 or 3 level 80 zones. What do I do now?" And the end game to me is there's dungeons and then there's exploration of the world. And because of the down leveling, you want to be able to go to the other zones again. And I think people are, they hit max level and they're like, I don't want to go to a level 20 zone. What do I have to get to out of a level 20 zone? So
You can get yellows from a level 20 zone. It's happened
Yeah, I
to
mean,
me
you
before.
still get like better items and stuff because it's not, I guess it scales a little bit.
yeah, everything scales.
Yeah,
You get
it's set up. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I
Your
was,
cat's so
I was going to
cute.
say that it's set up so that I think it's like 33% or a quarter of the time you're supposed to get level appropriate drops from anything that you're killing. The rest of the time you get drops that are appropriate level for the area, and then but you'll get every once in a while. So always keep an eye on what you're getting in your drops. But you'll get stuff. If you're level 80, you'll get level 78 to 80 stuff all the time, no matter what zone you're in.
Yep.
So I think that's where people get a little confused because the end game is not clearly defined as regular MMO end game. So, but okay, so let's say you rushed to 80. The way to do that, by the way, as Roasty said, is to go to your leveled zones. So like, you can finish a zone, like you can level past a zone and still be leveling, and it'll down level you. The fastest way to level is to, the minute you hit the max cap of that zone. So let's say you're in a 15 to 25 zone. The minute you hit 25, go to the next zone. Sometimes you can go from 24 and go to the next zone, and then you'll be in the 25 to 30 zone.
Actually, if you have somebody that's really nice and it's going to help you, it's better if you do something that's a little bit higher level than what you are, because that's how I leveled. Like I went to stuff that was like 2 or 3 or 4 levels higher, but I just had somebody running me through a lot of the stuff because otherwise I couldn't do it.
Well, that's because you had crazy
That's
Belial.
actually the fastest way to do it. I did.
Yeah. So if you want to,
Basically, the
That's the
fastest way to
do it.
level is leeching.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So if you want, and actually that's what I do with my Guardian. And there's a lot of mobs that I wouldn't recommend grinding in this game. It's really boring. But if you see a mob, like a yellow mob or something like that, and you think it's been there for a while, kill it. Because there's bonus XP for mobs that have been there for a while. And so you can literally get something close to the range of like 3,000 XP if a mob hasn't been killed in a certain amount of time. And that's in itself is like the amount of experience you would get for a quest, which is crazy. So if you're killing 2 or 3 of those, you know, at a time, you're going really fast. So, yes, I would agree that if you have someone run with you, then doing stuff that's higher than your level is definitely the fastest way. But if you don't have someone, try to just stick to your level as much as possible. So, you've done this.
Events. Someone pointed out
Events. Yeah.
Yeah, don't skip the dynamic events because those are a big part of doing an area and actually getting enough leveling out of the area instead of just doing the hearts.
No, I agree. And
I
if you go into those zones, I find that looking for the skill points is a good way to gauge. Like, just go get every skill point in that zone, and you're guaranteed to run across a bunch of events. So it's kind of like a nice way to map it. So you've pushed hard. You had your friend help you level. You leveled fast as hell. So you were at 80. Your end game. Bam. How do you get the best gear to participate in the hardest dungeons? This is where I think there's such a misconception. Skill in this game is 100% greater than gear. It's ridiculous. I've been to every dungeon in the game. I've done Explorable, which is the harder version of those dungeons. And when I first started out, I think I had level 60 gear on for a level 80 dungeon. And so did the rest of my party. But we knew how to play our classes, and we did fine. Some people are still under the impression that gear is going to help you. I mean, yes, gear helps you, but it helps you to mitigate damage versus doing a lot more damage. These bosses are very strong, and they're not going to be down much faster depending on your gear, but it will help you stay alive a little longer. So if you are not that, if you're not too familiar with your class, then yes, having more toughness or more vitality can really help you to stay alive longer. But it isn't the end of the world if you don't have it. I remember seeing some like map chat where people were like looking for group, need 1 guardian, and I messaged the guy and I was like, why do you need a guardian? He's like, because we don't have a healer yet. And I was like, you can bring any other class with you, right? And he was like, I had no idea. I was like, all right. Immediately he got his group going and he went. And I don't know if he was successful. I didn't follow up with the guy, but it was kind of funny that we're kind of programmed to look for that, or we do like a gear check before we go into a dungeon. Well, I suppose for a pug that's still not a bad idea because they'll last longer if they at least have good gear or they've been playing longer, but it's not 100% necessary. So the end game, how do I get the best gear? When am I ready to go to the dungeons? Blah, blah, blah. You hit 80, you're ready to go to the dungeons. You hit 70 and there's a level 70 dungeon, you're ready to go to that dungeon. So there really is no period of time we have to wait.
I do have to say it depends on how you get those last 10 to 15 levels. If you level through crafting for the last 10 or 15 levels, your gear will still be at whatever level you just went through. So it'll be 50 or 60 level gear. So you'll want to do a little bit of something in those last 70 to 80 zones to at least do something so you're kind of close. But yeah, you can easily do anything. Any gear that's level 70 or above, I feel that you can use on almost any of the PvE content and be okay with it.
One of the fastest ways to gear up... go ahead.
I was going to say I've ran multiple dungeons with 65 gear because I've been too lazy to actually upgrade my gear, and I've done pretty well.
Sans the dying over and over and over again. No, I'm just kidding. I
do die a lot, but that's because I'm me. and not my gear. Well, it might be my gear, but I'll still die with 80 gear. So, I don't know.
One of the fastest ways to get all your gear leveled up is to, if you don't want to, say go to those 80 zones or anything like that, you can go to World v World and kill the monsters in World v World, and those things drop on average like 1 to 2 pieces of really good gear that is equivalent to your level immediately. If you farm the mobs in World v World, you will get 80 gear faster than I think if you went out and leveled in other areas, which I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I just noticed every time, like I did what Mike said, and I actually leveled from 70 to 80 doing cooking, and then I went to World v World and I got all my gear up to level 80 in about an hour. So that's one way to do it.
Well, and then there's also the Dragon Zerg Fests that show up every 3 hours. You'll get about 4 or 5 pieces of gear and a couple other things from that, sometimes even rares. And then jumping puzzles, once you get up there, I found that usually give you something that's at least level appropriate. It may not be the best piece. Usually it's like blues and greens, but all 3 of the jumping puzzles in Lion's Arch I was doing for a while when I first hit 80 because I was getting level 80 stuff out of it. And until I finally found some stuff that I was happy with using and got tired of doing the jumping puzzles, there's other ways to get that level 80 stuff too.
Yeah,
You can also do dungeon runs. That's an easy way to get gear. I've noticed even in like when I go to the catacombs, I still get 80 stuff, even if it's a 30 dungeon.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to gear up, if you really, really need that gear, if you don't feel comfortable without that gear, run a dungeon. I guess that kind of is against the whole idea of, I don't want to go to the dungeon until I have the gear, but if you run the dungeon, you get the gear. And it's okay. No one's going to yell at you.
You can go and do like story mode. It's not as bad as the explorable mode.
That's true. Your story mode actually yields some pretty good rewards, but it doesn't scale like a dungeon would. So if you're still doing your level 12 story, you're still going to get level 12 items. So
I meant story dungeon mode.
oh, okay. Yeah, story dungeon mode, which is probably like the easier mode of. I thought you said personal story. So. Okay, what else we got here? The crafting system seems very complicated to me. Is there a good place to learn about that, such as what items are worth my time to salvage and what recipe discovery should I focus on? Anybody? Bueller?
I suppose this one's going to go to me.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, sure. Just watch the last 4 hours of our podcast. We go over all that. But
why don't you just talk about the crafting system a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. The crafting is different than other MMOs, but once you kind of get the hang of how to do discoveries and stuff, it gets to be actually a lot more fun. It's not just a grinding out of, okay, I've got to do this so I can get 2 more points, and then I'll do this again 50 million times. The discovery is basically you make some basic parts of whatever you're trying to make. If it's a sword, if it's a coat, if it's a bow, whatever, you'll make a couple parts, and then you'll make a piece that will give it its stats like power or precision. And you throw all that in the discovery pane, and it'll tell you if you have something that's new to you that you haven't learned how to make yet. You make it in the discovery pane, and then all of a sudden you can make that again if you want. Now, it's best to level it through discovery and not just keep on making that piece over and over again, but there are some great guides out there. I know we've linked it a couple times, that Gyosh guide that tells you everything you need to know about it. There's some really good resources online. We've got links all over our website at altabme.com for those types of things. But it's one of those things, it's built like many parts of this game to just get in there and try it and see how it works. Rux said that she likes the cooking part of it because it's very much like real life. If you want to make bread, you put flour and butter and water and whatever in the discovery pane, and it'll throw back something for you that's like bread. And that's basically how the whole crafting system works. It's just a little more intuitive in the cooking side of of it. So if you're having trouble figuring it out, play with cooking, and it'll kind of give you an idea how to do all the rest of them, because it's easier to think, oh, if I put a ball of dough and some cherries, I might get a cherry pie or something like that.
Cherry pie. You know, that brings me on a total tangent idea. Halloween event. I just want to throw this out there while we're talking about stuff. Who is excited for the fucking Halloween event?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen some of the stuff from that yet?
I'm excited. I want the cash shop to get more costumes and stuff. Like, I want
Yes.
that to happen.
Oh my god, that is what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm actually gonna pull
Instead
up
of,
some
any
pictures here.
Halloween side events.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some
Yeah,
pictures
I
from the
think
web
my
here
whole
on this.
stockpile. Yeah, I think my whole stockpile of any gold that I've made or am going to make in the next month is going to go towards all that cash shop stuff, because I'm a sucker for getting stuff that's only a temporary type thing, so that I can, like, if they give you a costume, I want to be wearing that around in July, and people are like, what is that?
No, I feel you. So I have a picture up right now of Lion's Arch, and I'm pretty sure it's Lion's Arch, but they did like a Halloween version of Lion's Arch. So awesome. It just looks creepy as hell, and that's, oh my god. And then the next picture is, I don't know where it is, but it has like the moon all creepy, and it has like the creepy things. And then the next picture is the clock tower, which reminds me of that Asian jumping puzzle game where the little baby is like crawling up the thing, and you have to like jump on these weird puzzles, and it's like the hardest jumping puzzle in the world, and it's like in a dream state, and he has to keep climbing this clock tower or something like that. Anyway, if I'm right, it looks like that might be a new jumping puzzle, and it might have like a creepy crawler baby or some sort of monster that chases you while you're doing it, which would be freaking cool, even though I hate jumping puzzles. So that looks awesome. That kind of stuff is what definitely will keep this game alive, giving it some more, just breathing a little life into it. The events are definitely something very cool, and the dynamicness of each event. In beta, I mean, each event that they did at the like end of the world event was an actual quest that you participated in. Like the Hunger Games was the coolest thing ever, because it wasn't just like the end of the world event where the GMs jump down and, you know, slash dance with you. It was like, here's an awesome weapon that does new things, and you're dying because you're not eating, and you have to run around the zone and kill your friends. It was like, what? So I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of potential for some really cool events.
They've also said that they're going to have some new Halloween time only dynamic events and like a mini dungeon type thing, and
they're not going to tell you what they are. You have to find them.
right, which will be found and put on the internet.
Of course, yeah.
Within hours, I'm sure.
We're doing
Yay,
it.
Reddit.
We'll be
That's
there,
where
man.
Reddit's your friend.
So let's go back. Let's hop back. Actually, you know, while we're off topic, I just got messaged by the girl Malibu Barbie from the Pink Day. Let me see if we can get her on this conversation.
Jealous.
Yeah, I'm pretty jelly. That wall is amazing.
I'll tell you about the wall in a second, because it is a pretty cool story.
So this
Actually,
is.
Take these off, like, 'cause I don't really see that.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go. Hi.
This is Malibu Barbie.
Hello.
She is
Yeah,
the
top
leader
snapshot.
of Pink Day in LA, and she has been kind enough to hop onto our podcast today and tell us a little bit about the event. So we had seen the post on Guild Wars 2 Guru, and we messaged her and we asked her if there was anything we could do for our server Yakspend. And she was like, yeah, of course, there's like a ton of shit you can do. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what Pink Day in LA is? And about that wall in the background,
Okay,
too.
So, this wall, too, I told you about this wall already, because I'm like, as soon as I go on, people are going to be like, I want to come live at your house, because apparently you live in Super Mario Brothers, right? Um, Pink Day in LA, I just want to clarify one thing, was not actually created by me. It was created by a group of gamers from the DGRN Guild in Guild Wars 1 in 2007 or so. One of the members of the guild lost their aunt or mother to breast cancer. So they wanted to do something for it. Their guild member was feeling really down, and they're like, well, why don't we all wear pink and run around Lions Arch? So there we go. They all dressed in pink on their stuff, dyed it all pink. And back then we didn't have pink dye, which came later. But they just mixed their colors together and got together and just wore pink, and people would come by and be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you guys sitting around wearing pink? And they'd be like some big manly warrior wearing pink, and they'd ask them about it. So from there, I actually, one of the people that was in the guild, Connor, who still works on our website, you can see Pinkified, the website, did a really good job on it. So hi, Connor. I know he's watching right now, so I want to say hi to him and give him good props. He approached me about actually around just as we were forming Gamers Giving Back, he approached me about taking Pink Day in LA a little bit farther, and I said, well, why don't we turn it into a charity function, raise some money, and make it big? Because I think more people would love to get involved with this, and let's make this a big deal. So in 2010, I actually approached ArenaNet when I was in PAX Prime in Seattle and said, what do you guys think? Let's do this. Let's get something big going. And Mike O'Brien said to me, yes, let's do this. I don't know what we can do for you yet, but I want to do something. So in October, when we had the event, right at the beginning of October, boom, got a surprise, bam, pink dye in the game. I was like, wow, this is insane. People were messaging me, emailing me, did you put this in the game? Was this you? And I was like, no, it wasn't me, it was ArenaNet. And then I got asked things like, do you work for ArenaNet? And that's one thing that I get asked all the time. No, I don't work for ArenaNet. If I do, I want to know where my paycheck is. Just kidding. But anyway, so that's the gist of where Pink Day in LA came from. So as far as Pink Day in LA now, what would you guys like to know? What can we clear up about Pink Day?
So let's talk about what is this event? So so basically it's all servers, right? But what do you have to do to participate?
Participating is easy. You wear pink dye on your character, which is super easy in Guild Wars 2. And Kristen, when we were working on the dye colors for Guild Wars 2, said to me, Rhonda, you're going to love this. There's like 25 shades of pink dye. So then I put a little joke, which is kind of not too good. I put, what about we rename the event 50 Shades of Pink? And everyone's like, please don't do that. And I was like, oh, didn't know about 50 Shades of Grey. My bad. So anyways, what you can do is you go into the game, you dye your character, there's lots of different shades of pink, and you come to Lions Arch, and there's a really great video on YouTube that a guy named Maybe made last year about the effects of video gamers wearing all this stuff and gathering together. Let's say there's 50 people in Lions Arch wearing pink, and some kid is standing there, and his dad happens to walk by, and he like looks over and goes, what is going on? That dad might have never played a video game in his life, but the kid can turn around and say, hey dad, you know, we're doing this for breast cancer research, boom. Look at that, broke a stereotype about what gamers do all day. That's the big basis behind Gamers Giving Back, is the fact that I want people to know that gamers are not just people that live in their mom's basements and play video games and sit in their underwear all day. We're actual people with real jobs that really care about important things out there. So this is one of the ways that I wanted to spread that message.
Well, yeah, that also sit in our underwear and then in the basement all day.
And do it at the same time, right? So, our pink underwear, right? No. But the big thing that I wanted to spread about this and get people to know is that you don't have to have money to participate in this. You don't have to donate the $10. Donating money to the cause is a good thing, but just being there and showing people that you care about it spreads the message along with just as much as anything else. If somebody's just lost a family member, we want to pass it along. We want to see video gaming community. I was in a session with a couple people at PAX this year talking about Guild Wars 2 community already showing that we have a really safe environment, that we're really good at looking at anti-bullying, banning people, different things like that. This is another way that our community can show that it's a safe place to be. So I think ArenaNet's really been supportive with me on this event because they want to see that in their video game, and I think that's a positive thing. The reason why I wasn't here for the beginning of your podcast is because I'm a high school teacher, so I want to spread along this message to my students as well, that they can do something positive in their video game community and give back to society somehow. And kids, this is a great way for kids to give back, right? They don't always have money. They can show up in their video game, wear a color, and boom, you're spreading awareness. So it's a great way for people to get together and do that. As far as prizes online, our radio stream, I'm going to be DJing that day, as well as Black Spike, but we're going to be starting at 4 a.m. Eastern with one of our Australian DJs, so the New Zealand and Australian players can get a little bit of interaction. I always find that they get left out, so we wanted to have something for them. So we're going to have a little bit of a pre-show.
You just made all of our guild members that are from Australia so happy right now. They're all like cheering. They're like, yes, we get to do something. And now I'm gonna hear all the crap about this later because they're like, see, she makes the effort to do stuff for us. Why can't you? Thanks for that. Thank you.
Yeah, Tristan, why can't you?
Yeah, Tristan, why can't you?
Oh Jesus.
Why can't you?
Oh, I
I
do.
want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do But that's just one way that everybody, like, for example, not all the servers are hosted this year. Not everyone can get enough volunteers. So everyone can win that way by messaging us in game, or we're going to do some Facebook and Twitter posts. So make sure you follow at Pink Day in LA on Twitter, because we're going to do some of our giveaways on there to give people who are at work a chance to win as well, because not everyone can be in Guild Wars 2 24/7, right? So we wanted to give people a chance while they're busy doing their day-to-day stuff, a chance to win. And we also have the donation prizes. So if you donate $10 Canadian or more, you get an entry by doing picking a number from 1 to 1,000, and then you just email us at donations@gw-en.com. So, and that gets you into the draw. And the prizes are insane this year. I got some of them here. Do you want to see them?
Yeah.
For all the Assassin's Creed fans out there, it's
Nice.
very awesome. You can't even tell.
It's 3D,
It's
right?
very hard to tell, but it's a 3D graphic.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
that got donated by the Exempt Warrior, who's one of our DJs. He bought that at PAX. And all the cool people at Tryon donated a whole bunch of these little cool guys from Defiance.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
kind of cool.
Those
It's
are awesome.
adorable.
They're awesome. These are the Hellbugs, apparently. So we got a couple of those to give away. And the cool people at Firefall who are still in beta, which I had some beta codes, maybe we'll give one away during your podcast. I don't know. We'll see. They gave me some sweatshirts.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. And I also have some stuff from Razer. I got like my own Sunlight chest back here. And I got a ton of these cool hats. They're super awesome.
What does that say?
Yeah. It says Warface on it. It's one of the Tryon games. So they gave me a ton of them.
That's because no one's heard of that game before, I think.
So, yeah, that's alright, but they're cool though.
No, they are cool, you know? Now it's military Barbie, not Malibu Barbie.
Yeah, the military Barbie. I also have a ton of these to give away. So these, I can't
Tristan,
show
it's
you
your
the back
favorite
or else I'd show you the code. But I got a whole bunch of, I'll just cover up the code somehow.
428. No, I'm
For
just
all the
kidding.
Rift fans out there, you'll get a decent game.
Oh, that's
There we
cool.
go. You can look like a demon.
In your new
I
house,
got tons
because of the
those,
house.
and I'm giving those away. Yeah.
Tristan's really all about this
I'm
housing.
excited. It's like Sims meets MMO.
Yeah, hello. I've been pushing this for the last million years since Ultima Online came out, and why did Rift have to come out with it when I want to play Guild Wars 2 houses? I had to quit. I had to quit The Sims Online, by the way. It was a problem. I was in The Sims Online, and I was playing it really hardcore, and I had to pee in real life really badly. but my sim had to pee. And so I waited for my sim to pee first, and then I went to pee. And while I'm peeing, I went, I have a problem, and I quit the game.
Oh my god, Tristan.
Yep, that happened.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
Just a little
burnt down
problem there.
Life while you're still trying to keep your sim alive.
Yeah, it was no
You know,
good.
at least you didn't like pass out on the floor like the Sims do.
And pee myself. Just, that wouldn't be good for my family to walk into. That's embarrassing.
That's when you have a problem.
That's when it's
Tell you
intervention
about
time.
kind of hard for me to tell you. This is actually a wall decal, and you can get it from thinkgeek.com. And I actually won it this year from a charity event. Have you guys heard of the Mario Marathon or Mario Marathon? My Canadianness is coming out in me.
No, I haven't heard of that.
At all?
Nope.
Yes. Okay, yeah. It's a really cool event that's done for Child's Play in around June, and I think they raised like $200,000 last year for Child's Play. And all they do is play Super Mario Brother games, and they give away cool stuff. And these guys are insane. They do like barrel rolls and they have a couch pig and stuff like that. A lot of memes have come out of that event, so it's something really cool that you guys can check out. And they sent this to me because I was tweeting about them. So how cool is that? They're like, you tweeted about us. Here, have some cool wall decals. And I'm like, awesome.
Now every single person that watched this video right now is like tweeting them. Ha ha ha.
Time to tweet. Yeah.
I like how your cat's there. My cat is looking at your cat. See?
Oh my god.
Oh, your cat's just as chill as
I
my
really
cat
feel like
is.
I gotta go get my cat now too.
There we go.
I have
We're
one of
also
those.
gonna have
A boot.
Pink day in Catland. There we go.
I gotta do this. I'm not showing off my boobs. I just want to point this out. You can get your own Pink Day in LA shirt at our store. We're also giving them away.
Nice.
Save the tatas, right?
Right?
I have
Yes.
to do that for
Yes.
some of the.
So what?
Anyway,
So okay, so Pink Day in LA, it brings awareness and stuff like that. Is there any way that people can actually, other than awareness and helping the community to thrive, is there any way that people can actually donate to the cause with real money?
yes. What you need to do is you go to pinkday.gamergivingback.com, and there's a big, bright, pink, shiny donate button. You click it, and it takes you to the Canadian Cancer Society page. There's two different places that people have been donating to. You can donate to myself, Rhonda, on there. It'll say, you just click support Rhonda.
Talk about it, definitely. So the event is on October 20th for those that are watching. It starts at 12 p.m. Central Time, and it ends at 6 p.m., correct?
6 p.m. Central Time, but of course we'll always have, I think we're trying to get about 40 hours straight of DJs giving away stuff on air, so that's one cool thing I like to tell people about what we do. Gamers Giving Back, we don't just stop with Pink Day in LA. We're constantly promoting different charity organizations. So if anybody out there right now has something coming up charity related to video game, or you just want to do something that video or charity related, let us know. You can email me at gwen.com, gw-en.com. It's admin, ADMIN. So just email me there or hit the contact us button on the Gamer Giving Back page, and we will totally get together with you. And we also do free advertising for people if they want to get a shout out there for what they're doing for their charity stuff. So we really want to support this kind of work in video game related communities. So that's something I'll throw out there for everyone.
Cool. So for all those people that are watching on Wednesday when this is published, you can go to alttabme.com, and we will have a post up with all the links that she's been talking about and emails and stuff, so that you can just go there and it'll have everything you need in case you missed it. Let's talk about the event just a little bit more. Tell me, what kind of stuff can people expect in game to be happening? What are some of the... I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, okay.
Yes. That's amazing.
So
Wow.
I had to bring this up because I've seen that there's a few people wondering why I don't have my Jester cap on. did this for, we actually auctioned it off for Susan G. Komen last year, the only other copy. So I thought I'd wear it for a little bit. Imagine walking around PAX with this on your head all day. I mean,
I can think of worse outfits, yeah.
But this is my Jester cap. I'm waiting for ArenaNet to make me a Guild Wars 2 version. Just saying, hint hint, ArenaNet, if you're listening in right now, I want a Guild Wars 2 version of this hat. People that want the costume code t-shirts with the little Dragon 2 on it, we're giving away something like 15 free codes.
Well,
If you want those, we're going to be giving them away.
Can you repeat what you just said? Because it
two of these
got a little
free.
laggy.
Oh, note. We're going to be giving away at least 15 Guild Wars 2 Dragon 2 t-shirt codes for Guild Wars 2.
Oh,
and
nice.
I want to give you guys these today to give away.
Okay,
somehow.
cool. Yeah, you can message. You know what we'll do? We'll put up a post. We usually put up a post right after our podcast with Q&A. We will devise some sort of a way that people that post can win one of those. So if you're watching right now, you have a jump start on everybody from Wednesday, and we will be giving away those after this podcast. So tell us about the event. Tell us about the fun stuff. Tell us about the good stuff. What do we get to do?
Okay. Fun stuff.
Oh no.
The big, huge thing that we're going to be doing, because I'm so huge, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm just checking here.
Whoa.
I get so paranoid about this now. Anyway, so the big, huge thing that we're going to be doing is really using Lions Art this year by creating a race for the cure. So players will be starting at a start line, and we're going to be giving you clues. And so all the volunteers that came out are all part of this, and they're going to be throughout the game giving you these clues. And it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to work for it. One of the prizes that we're giving away for it is one of the really cool Steel Series pink headphones that they're selling right now for breast cancer research. So, and I believe we also have some Guild Wars 2 t-shirts that they gave away at their launch parties. So people that are interested in snagging one of those, we're going to be giving those away. We're also going to be having a diving board competition, and I'm going to be on the Henge of Dinravi server, and I will tell you that Connor is going to be one of the judges, and he told me he's going to troll every single person that's going to be diving off the diving board, so prepare yourself for that. You will be trolled. I don't know what else is going to be going on with that. As well as on air, I'm going to have Angel McCoy from the Guild Wars 2 staff. She's going to be coming on air with me again this year. She was on air as well as John J. Ryan last year. Angel McCoy is actually a breast cancer survivor, so she's really made a push for this event to become quite huge in the Guild Wars community. And I'm also going to have a lady named Celia from the Canadian Cancer Society on board on air in probably around 1:30 Central Time, approximately 1:30. They're going to be on air to answer any questions that people have about things like where does the money go, why is there no Blue Day in LA? That's one question I got asked by one guy. He's like, why is there no Blue Day in LA? So we'll be answering questions like that. And I'm going to throw this out there. If any of you dudes out there want to make Blue Day in LA for men's prostate cancer, by all means, I will support you. I just don't have enough physical time in my life to do Blue Day in LA. We're also going to be talking about the different ways to check yourself for different types of cancer and preventative actions to take to keep yourself from putting yourself at risk for cancer. So we're going to kind of make it an informational type of thing on air. Plus, I'm going to be doing all of the stuff on air giving away. And those of you that don't have Guild Wars 2 yet, we will be giving away a copy of Guild Wars 2 to somebody that's going to be in Guild Wars. So if you guys have any friends that are super poor and still haven't been able to afford to buy the game yet, we have somebody that's from Australia, there we go again, somebody from Australia that donated a copy of Guild Wars 2 to the community. So
Making my life very difficult right now.
I gotta do my shout-out.
Making my life very difficult. By the way, Australians, we have applications. They're open on our website. Feel free to join. We're cool. We love you.
Yes, please.
We need
And
more.
We need more people with really cool accents.
Yeah.
Yeah, more people with really cool accents would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because
I
that's all
agree.
Australians are good for is their
Yeah,
accents.
When also accepting of Australian
Yes.
people. We need more.
Cool.
And so, since I'm a guest on here with you guys can continue on. I've never met any of you, so I'm gonna say hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
That's on here.
Hello.
And it's really cool to know about your site.
Yeah, so
I'm
Tig.
looking back and forth between my phone and my computer screen, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we run this podcast. It's every Monday, weekly. We started before the game launched. We started out with informational stuff for new players since we were all in the beta, and then we kind of dove into a little bit deeper. And now our last two podcasts were pretty mathematical, thanks to that guy up there. We were talking about the trading posts and how to make money. Essentially, he does his thing, and then today we were talking about what the hell were we talking about today?
How to make the switch.
Oh yeah, how to make the
How to
switch,
make the
because we
switch.
get a lot of questions from people about that are joining Guild Wars 2 and they don't they never played Guild Wars 1, or they're coming from another MMO and they're just trying to figure it out. So
Well, we have a really cool contest going on right now that would be interesting to the Guild Wars 2 community. You can rant a little bit. We're doing a 10 days of minis giveaway leading up to Pink Day in LA, and our question today, you have to tweet us at Gwen, it's GW_E network, and let us know 2 things that you don't like about Guild Wars 2 right now that you would like to see changed.
housing.
And then you need to give us your IGN, because we're going to give away some minis, so there you go. So we've had a lot of people with some really interesting tweets. One of the biggest things is people are really upset about the rarity of stuff in level 400 area for crafting, and the guessing is not in yet, so.
Well, I hope you're giving away pink MOAs, because that would make sense.
We have pink MOAs. Yes. And I also have a ton of Exos for both Guild Wars 1 and 2. So anybody that's finishing their Hall of Monuments in Guild Wars 1, I'm going to be giving away some Obsidian armor, some Vabian armor, stuff like that people want to try and fill up. And I got a ton of Exos that were donated from various people already for Guild Wars 2, and I know how expensive those are on the trading post right now, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's looking forward to this event. We've had a lot of feedback and a lot of good commentary on our site about it, and people are very jazzed to check it out. So we're very happy, and we're thankful that you gave us the opportunity to help host on our server with the other guild. Beer, by the way, beer. It's perfect. Fits our Yactopus. It's a good mix. Yactopus and beer. It's perfect.
Guild to host it.
So look for us on October 20th if you're on Yak's Bend. And then Malibu Barbie has the radio station. She'll be on Henge of Devrai. Am I getting that right?
Henge of Dunravi.
Dunravi.
Where I'm going to be at. I don't have all of the different servers. I have them officially posted on the community section of Guild Wars 2 Guru. That's where I've been updating my posts, and then my web guys have been kind of updating our website from there, because we have a hard time. One of my web designers is from the UK, so between work and time zones, we don't always get to talk to each other too much. But hi, Cookie, I love you. I gotta give her huge props. He's the one that made the beautiful Pink Day in LA logo and all the posters and different things like that, so she's really talented. And
Nice.
a shout out to Jamie Rowe for letting us use concept art this year from ArenaNet for our posters. It was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, they did a good job on that. It looks really nice.
And we have 181 volunteers from the Guild Wars 2 community that came forward to volunteer for this event this year. So I think that's huge, and I think we should give props to all those people right now that are going to be volunteering, as well as you guys for volunteering, right? So that's great. Just wanted to say thank you ahead of time for that.
That's me patting myself on the back.
Good job.
So actually, if you're actually looking at everyone in the channel, Rux and Mike are going to be helping host. Roasty, were you or no? I don't remember.
I don't know if I'll have time, so I haven't
Okay.
signed up for it yet.
So definitely you see
gonna
two of
be
them
late.
here. So you have Rux and Mike, and Rux will be late, but she'll definitely be able to help us out a bit. So we have I think we have about 6 people, 7 people right now from our guild, and then with beer it should be at least 10. So that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see how well it goes. I'm really nervous about it in a way because it's so new. But any way that it ends up going, it's gonna be fun no matter what, because this is one of the first big community events in Guild Wars 2 as far as I know across servers. So we'll see how well it goes, and afterwards I guess we'll be open up to suggestions or something to work on. As soon as Pink Day in LA always ends, I end up starting working the day after on how to make the next Pink Day in LA better. So I'm a little workaholic.
Well, it's good if the event goes off without a hitch. You know, I have my own experience with these these campaigns for good causes, and maybe maybe we could start pushing our cause to save the Quaggin. I helped save the Murlocs, so maybe we could save the Quaggin, the little baby Quaggin.
Holiac.
Do it,
Are the
Kristen.
Quaggins endangered?
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. They
They
can
are
be
on
saved.
there.
Everyone can be saved.
My students are actually planning on doing a special radio show between 9 and 11 Mountain Time, and I got my students involved with this, which is crazy, and they're all going to be wearing pink. So we're actually having a pink day in my school. So anybody out there that wants to send any pictures of them wearing pink out on the 19th or 20th can send pictures to Gwen as well. We will post those on our Facebook and our Twitter, showing that you're supporting us not only in game but in real life. I think that's fantastic, spreading the message.
I have a perfect pink
So I
underwear
threw
shot
that
for
out
you.
there as well.
We are good.
Oh, God.
I will send that to you immediately.
Best
I will be
picture
blocking
ever.
your email address right now.
No. You need to see this picture. It's pretty good.
It's as pink as this. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, jokes aside, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Once again, that is Pink Day LA in Guild Wars 2. It'll be in Lion's Arch at 12 p.m. Central Time until 6 p.m. Central Time. And they will be on their radio station hours before that. And there are a bunch of events leading up to it. Your website is, again...
It is pinkday.gamergivingback.com.
So check out that for all the information that you may have missed or may not have seen. Also, you can go to alttabme.com. We'll have links to everything that we just talked about. So thanks a lot for coming on, and we're really happy to do anything we can to promote this. It's a really good cause, and it just further bolsters the really great community that Guild Wars 2 has. So
Well, thank you guys for having me, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon and checking things out. So have a great evening, everyone, and hi to everyone in New Zealand and Australia.
all right.
Yes.
Thanks. For those that have questions, we will be hosting the Yak Ben version of the Pink Day in LA with the Guild Beer. If you need details, go to alttabme.com. We will also be streaming it live just like this at alttabme.com/live. So check it out anytime. You don't have to be there for the whole event, but wear pink, and we'll be there. Hopefully we'll have some people from the guild also wearing pink and chilling and hanging out. So, with that said, Roasty, anything on the
That's
topic, or you want to move on?
September- I'm sorry.
That's October
That's
20th.
No, not on the Pink Day topic. I had nothing to say about that. I think we covered all of it.
All right. So, back to podcast number 17, how to make the switch. What haven't we covered yet? I think we haven't covered pretty versus the best stats. That's one of my keynotes.
What was Miranda gonna say?
I don't know.
We'll say it, Miranda.
I was gonna say that she brought up one of those that I've seen a good point with the whole what do you dislike about Guild Wars 2 is that everyone expects it to be super, like they expect things kind of to be handed to them. Like I don't know, I've seen posts on Reddit where people complain how rare things are, and that's like they shouldn't think like that. Like it's still gonna be grinding for some things. I don't know. That's just my opinion on. You guys are quiet.
It scares you when we get quiet, doesn't it? See, it's scary.
Yes, it does. Don't get quiet.
No,
You
well,
have to
no, I
say
totally agree with
things.
you. I totally agree with you. There's items in this game that are called legendaries, and those items will take you a lot of money and a lot of time to get, and they're probably the coolest looking items in the game. But you know, you can grind, as we've talked about in our money podcast. You can grind the auction house, or the trading post, sorry, or you can grind the game. So it's really up to you. It's less of a grind in the terms of have to do one thing over and over again, whereas you can kind of disperse into things that you're interested in. So
You know, I think they need to have something that's a little bit difficult to get, so it's like, you know, just like a cool thing that somebody was able to do. If everybody was able to get the same thing, it would be kind of boring.
well, yeah, you have to have a little bit of a carrot on a stick in these games. I mean, right now, Guild Wars 2 has the least amount of carrot on the stick that I've ever played in MMO, to the point where I can literally just step away from the game and not feel anything. Like, I don't feel guilty, or I don't feel like, oh my god, I need to play. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get my shit done, and then I'm going to come back to Guild Wars 2. So, good or bad, not sure about that yet. I like being
Well, and I
addicted.
kind of like the fact that there's some things that are hard to get, and I'm not just talking about legendaries, because there's so many ways to do what you want in this game that it makes it feel easy to get things done. It's like, oh, well, if I'm sick of playing PvE, I can go to WVW, or I can do SPVP. If I don't want to grind in ore, I can go complete maps in different areas. So it feels like, because there's always something interesting to do, and the grinding is not the same sense of grinding as it is in other games where you have to do the same thing every day and for hours and hours on end, you can still get to where you need to get just by playing the way you want to play. But there needs to be something that's hard to get. There needs to be something that I feel that needs to be more of an achievement, so you're not feeling like this game is just super simple. And I think people are getting used to, it's not that it's simple, but it's that you can always be doing something you like doing, so people feel that it's easier to get what they want out of it. And I personally like both aspects of that.
So, from coming from another MMO to this game, what should you not expect? Ooh, throw in the wrench. That's like someone going to you and being like, "What's your favorite movie?" And you're like, "I'm not ready for this." Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll start out. A couple of things that you really shouldn't expect that a lot of people really do is that you have to race to endgame. A lot of people, endgame comes up so much, and it really took me almost till 60 to realize that you shouldn't be racing to endgame. You should be enjoying it, because, like we've said before, the game is the endgame, and there is stuff to do when you're 80 that you are better at doing, or it's easier to accomplish when you're 80, like, you know, map completion, dungeons, stuff like that. But if you're not slowing down and enjoying the whole thing while you go, you're going to miss out on a lot. So you really shouldn't expect it. The game's not built to race to 80. So that's something that you shouldn't expect. And, you know, that is different than in other games. That you want to spend the time and you want to slow down, and you'll really get a lot more enjoyment out of it, because there is, like I've said many times, there's so many different ways to level that different things that you like doing will help you level, as long as it's not SPVP.
What anything else that you guys might, Rux, anything, Miranda, anything? What not to expect?
Well, I mean, I guess don't expect that once you, and we talked about this a little bit, like once you hit 80, you're not going to be able to go back to like the earlier zones. And I mean, yes, it's a little bit easier to farm and like kill things because you still have, you know, your weapons and whatnot, but don't expect that you're going to go in and it's going to be like World of Warcraft or whatever, where you just decimate everything that's lower level because of the scaling. So that's something that you shouldn't expect.
But that's a good thing, because then you can go back, and if you did rush
is
to
a
the
good
top
thing.
and you
I
didn't
like
know, you didn't watch this podcast, and you were like, "Man, I gotta get to 80," and you got to 80, you're like, "Fuck." Well, now you can go back and you can go check out all the zones and enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing by any means, but it's just something that, like I didn't even knowing like what the game was like, I didn't realize it. Like I was going through and then I went back to an earlier zone and I'm like, man, these things are hitting me kind of hard. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, scaling.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe some people also kind of expect the game to only to like they shouldn't expect the whole game that you need to be around people, though, like how Guild Wars 2 supports you in like party and stuff. But you can solo the game easily as you can do it with a party, kinda, I guess. Is what I'm saying. Like they shouldn't expect the need to have. They shouldn't expect needing to have people. If that makes sense.
Oh, I see
It
what
made
you're
more
saying.
sense in
Like,
my
Yeah.
mind.
okay, no, I get what you're saying. Like, don't, like, I don't know, kind of like expect that you can do stuff on your own. Maybe is that what you're trying to say? I don't know.
Be all you
sounded
can
better
be.
in my mind.
Well, it sounded to me like she was saying, don't expect that you have to party to get everything done. You can
Yes.
solo.
I mean,
And,
some things are
Besides
easier with a
dungeons.
party, but yeah.
And most things are more fun when you've got people to play with because the game tries
Yeah.
to push you together versus go against others.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also, because when you group with someone, you don't have to necessarily group with them. You don't have to invite them to a party. If they're in the area, they're helping you. A lot of people sometimes get the idea that it makes it antisocial. Let me tell you something. Type /say and say hello. Everyone I've ever run across, and I've done that too, boom, they say something. They'll start talking to you, and all of a sudden they'll start following you around, and you guys are having a great conversation, and you're fighting shit together. So even though you may feel a little bit separated because you're not, in a party, you don't know these people. If you actually open up and say hello, it's like New York. It's the loneliest place in the world. And if you just say hi, someone is probably going to say hi back to you, unless they're on the phone or listening to their headphones. Don't approach those people. Just saying. That's for New York, not the game. Because I don't think they have headphones in the game. Anyway, moving on.
Well, anyway.
Oh, I just thought of something else to not expect in the game. Quest givers. There are no quest givers.
Yeah,
There are
don't
no
look at exclamation
exclamation
points or
points.
question marks.
There's no question marks. You don't have to go turn in 50 bat eyes of all these blind bats that have no eyes. Although there are pieces of those heart quests that do get drops that you can turn in to help you complete the quest, but I almost never turn them in because I'm always out finishing off in the cave somewhere and forget to turn the stuff in to help me.
Yep. No,
quests.
Yep. Sometimes you get these turn-ins, and I'm like, oh, look, I picked up a book, and then it sits in my inventory for like 7 levels, and I'm like, what did I need this for? I don't understand. So.
Oh yeah, don't expect mounts. That was a good one.
Yeah, don't expect mounts.
Someone just said that in chat.
That's not going to happen.
But
Yeah,
you
but
don't
whenever-
need to because the waypoints
Yeah.
are really good.
Yeah. They're good.
That's what I was going to say.
But, I did watch How to Tame a Dragon, and I always kind of wanted a little dragon of my own. But that's just me.
Toothless would be awesome.
Yeah,
Toothless would be awesome.
that's right.
I'd be happy with the game.
Yep. All I would
Give me
need
a
is
pet
Toothless and
Toothless.
housing, and that's all I would need. Anyway, so I mean that's basically it. There's so many. I mean, we could sit here and we could talk about all the different things that are in the game, but the idea here and what we're trying to get across in our very around the actual question way is that the game is different. It's not your normal typical MMO. So when you go to a community like altabme.com and you ask a question, which we don't mind, you can ask these questions, but when you go and you ask a question that relates it to another MMO, don't expect the generic answer because it's just built differently. They took out so much that makes what we know an MMO, and they made it something different. So the best thing I could ever, and I think we said this in like our first podcast ever, was log into the game, make the coolest looking character you could make because you think it's cool, pick the class you're going to pick because you think it looks awesome, and then just run around and do whatever you want. Listen to the world, listen to the NPCs, look around, enjoy the beauty of the game, and the game will find you. And that's the coolest part. You don't have to pick a healing class because your guild needs one. You don't have to pick a special race because they have a better racial ability. And you don't have to log into the game and have some sort of spreadsheet, formulaic way to do it. It literally is a very organic game. Mike is like shaking his head now. He's like, no, I want my spreadsheets, damn it.
Well,
But
You
actually,
need them.
that's a really good point. Like, don't expect that you're going to be locked into like a specific role or function, because you can change a lot of what you're doing regardless of what you pick.
yeah, so I mean, even if you log into the game and you pick the class and you're like, oh man, this is like, I just have daggers and I'm just doing little spinny things and making Mario Wolf sounds with my Heartseeker. Oh, I wish I had ranged. Well, equip some pistols, equip a bow.
Now you do.
Now you have
Bow,
ranged. And then you're like,
whatever.
oh, but I wish I could support my group more. Look at your talent points. Oh, there's all sorts of support. I mean, every class can do support, damage, or shit, I always forget the last
Control.
one. Control. And there are ways to spec into those to make it work. So I would definitely check it out. Give it some time. For me, it took me, I had to try 3 or 4 classes before I actually picked mine. And for me, that's weird because usually I just pick one and I'm like, done, got it. And like a dumbass, I went in and made another character, and I ended up bringing 2 characters to 80 because I still couldn't decide. And then finally, I figured it out. And the reason is that I just didn't spend enough time, even going all the way up to level 80, exploring what that profession had to offer. And once I figured it out, it was really exciting. So that's what I have to say about that. Something that we did touch on is the lack of addiction to this game, and we want to kind of talk about alttabme.com for a second. We haven't really had a chance to tell you. I think Guild Wars 2 is a great example of a game that lets you play other games at the same time. And alttabme.com is a community that caters to that mentality. We play every game known to man. We've got people playing Borderlands 2. I know Rux is playing Borderlands 2. She's been crazy in that, right?
Yeah, except by me, you met Nate.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nate. Well, they're,
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Same
You got
person.
Borderlands, I got PlanetSide 2.
Yeah.
Same person.
So PlanetSide 2,
Also feels like
we've
I've
got Borderlands 2, we've got freaking, what the hell's
League of
TL?
Legends. Say League of Legends.
We do have League of Legends. People play League of Legends.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, we've got a
Even have a
Minecraft server.
server.
Yeah. We've got so many different games and so many different things that we like to play, and Guild Wars 2 really allows us to do that. So if you're looking for a good group of people that you want to just game with, check it out. That's what our community is all about. You know, as you notice, our podcasts switch up a lot. We bring on different people. It's to keep it's to keep with the idea of the community, and we like to bring in our community to give to you guys. So check it out, alttabme.com. Anything else that you guys can think of that we haven't talked about, or is that about it?
We haven't talked nearly enough about math and spreadsheets on this one.
Oh God.
Oh wait.
I
We could talk about math.
Blow your
It's
brains
like
out
math.
time for Tristan.
Why did both the girls jump in? Oh my God, I want to talk about math. What the fuck?
Math is a fun topic
'Cause
to
it-
talk about.
It is. It's
They
an
like to
amazing
see the
topic.
vein throb in your forehead.
Yeah, that's what happened right there. Anyway, quick wrap up. This was all about how to make the switch. If you have any questions, once again, you can go to alttabme.com. We post our podcast every Wednesday after the live show. You can come on to the live show, ask us questions, and we'll answer them. And feel free to.
Pink
Did
Day
anyone
contest
ask us any
thread.
questions?
Yeah, we've been
Everyone
kind of
answers
answering them as
questions.
they come up.
Yeah.
But if anybody has a question, feel free to hit it up right now, and we will answer it right after I'm done with this
Questions
spiel. Since there's a delay, I'll just go ahead and continue the spiel. What was I gonna say? Okay, so we're live every Monday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern, And then Wednesday, it goes to YouTube, and you can go to alttimey.com to check it out. You can also post questions, comments, or suggestions for the next podcast. As well, we have applications open to our guild Arcanix for Guild Wars 2. You can go to alttimey.com and apply there as well. We take it very seriously. Please read the prerequisites before you apply. And we try to keep a very tight-knit family. Also, Pink Day LA, October 20th. Check it out. Support. Come out, support, wear pink. It's going to be a really fun event, as you saw with Malibu Barbie. Should be a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool prizes, and just a good time in general. Check out the Guild Wars 2 community and see what it's all about. But that's about it, I think. And let's see if we have any questions. What do you guys like best about Guild Wars 2?
All the dies.
Pretty much, yeah, well, I like what Gia said. I like the people. But the dies are nice too.
I don't like
Screw
people.
the people, give me more dies.
Well, Miranda, you're kind of a jerk, so I can see why you would go for the dies over the people.
Okay.
I like the balance
It's
between
all
the
about-
characters. I like that every character has... I like PvP a lot, so I like when I go into SPvP that there's a balance and a counter for almost everything. And it really is like... It really bases it on group play versus the 1v1. And I hated the games where it was like, come on, man, 1v1 me, 1v1 me. I was like, fuck you, it's the group game. I don't want to 1v1 you. So, I definitely like that.
Whenever I tell anybody about the game that doesn't play it, there's two things that I always bring up. One is that it's more skill-based than gear-based. So if you know how to move and you know how to dodge, you can be better than that next guy, no matter if they've got the best gear or not. And the other thing I tell everybody is, and I've said it multiple times here, is the game is built around bringing people together versus being against other people. The fact that you can help out without having to be in the same party. The fact that all the quests are kind of area quests. You go in and you do part of it, you help them, and you don't have to stand there the whole time and be whatever, and you'll still get credit for it if you want to go your own way. But it's just the idea and the whole mechanics that bring people together so much, I think makes it a lot more fun because things get done and you can go in and you can, you know, make friends and be more social and interactive. But those two things are the two things I like best about it. Those are the things that I always keep bringing up to people because when I quit WoW, I was ready to be done with all the same type of cookie cutter MMOs that it's just grind this out, get the best gear, do that one thing, and it was all the same thing over and over again. But coming into this, it really held my interest by basically those two things over almost everything else.
Yeah, and if you know, if you miss the drama from other MMOs, if you miss the the Chuck Norris jokes and stuff like that, you can still go to Jade Quarry. They're a great server for that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, head on over there. You'll be number 1 in You'll be number 2 in World v World, but at least you'll get all the drama you want. Excellent.
Who's number 1?
I don't know. I'm trolling right now. So
the drama before the game came out, we had drama with Jade Quarry.
No, I know. I wasn't
They
drama.
were good at the drama.
No, they're still good at the drama. There's actually a thread on Guild Wars 2 Guru right now where it's called JQQ. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, let's not bash people. Anyway, let's see. What do we got here? Okay. Rux and Miranda, you're answering this. If you were a Quaggin, what would your name be and how would you say it?
Get out of here. Miranda, go ahead.
She goes, get out of here.
I don't know. I would go with Miranda for a Quaggin name because I don't know the lore.
How would you say it?
Miranda?
In the Quaggin voice.
You have to do lots of ooh.
I know.
Ooh.
The woos and the ooh.
Yeah, the Quaggins all go ooh.
Maroon, no.
No, don't go into
I would
Murloc
never
voice,
be a
Kristen.
Quaggan.
Don't do
I would
it.
never be a Quaggan.
Really?
I would have a Quaggan
Oh.
as a pet.
See, this
And
is
I'd
why we have to
probably
save the
name it
fucking
Fluffy or
Quaggans
something.
from you likes of you
Yeah,
people.
we do.
They could make some
well-
good throw pillows, you know, just like
Oh my god.
Quaggan leather.
You're awful.
No, we will have none of this. We're moving on now. We are moving on now. So, I am not answering that question because I honestly have no idea. All I could think of was like "coo" and that's it. That's all I got, man. That's all you get from me. That's what my name would be, just like all the other Quaggans. I'd be "coo." So, or super cool.
What's your favorite zone?
Oh man, I have a favorite zone.
Uh,
The level
Go.
15 to 25 Norn zone. I don't know the name of
you
it.
know, I really like the Norn zones. They're,
Yep.
I don't know why. I just
I
the
like the
snowy
music.
landscapes.
I
They're
like the
pretty.
pink flowers that come down with the snow. I like it at nighttime. I like it in the daytime. I like the stories. Oh, I love those zones. I love those zones. Way cooler than the pirate zone. And I love pirates, so that's saying something.
Yeah, I was
My
liking
favorite zone is
all
the-
the snowy zones also, like Snowden Drifts. What was yours, Rosie?
Yeah.
The one I think above Keswick Hills, or is it below it? The Gundarian Fields.
I
you
just
said
can't
that one?
stand centaurs. Maybe
Centaurs?
it's because my fucking character's always like, I can run faster than a centaur all the fucking time. I
Yeah,
just
that's kind
don't
of
like
annoying.
them.
I don't know. That was the place with the really cool story thing, so it's stuck.
They did have cool
Even
quest
if I hate
zones in there,
centaurs
though.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The char zones, all the beginning char zones, I think they're really cool too because like
really
the
like
little
the char
children
zones.
running around and the cool weapons you get and all the steampunky shit. I think that's really cool.
The baby char. they're
Yes, they're adorable. They're adorable. Your face looks like a raisin. All right, anyway.
awesome.
Let's see.
I think we missed a question somewhere.
Did we?
Someone asked what we play. Yeah, someone asked either like what races or what classes or something. Let me scroll back up.
Oh yeah, what class race do you guys play? I play a mesmer mostly because I like butterflies. Actually, it's not because I like butterflies. This is a misconception. We're going to fix this right now. I actually really don't like
Yeah.
butterflies. Not a big fan of butterflies. I think they're creepy. I don't know why I think they're creepy, but I do. I like pink. I like pink, okay? And the fact that they into fucking pink butterflies just makes it awesome. And it reminds me of Alice. Yeah, it reminds me of Alice from the Alice Madness Returns games, where every time you died, it would like poof, and you would just turn into butterflies. And I used to stream that, and every time I would die, I'd be like butterflies. So every time I do anything in the game, I'm like butterflies. So that's kind of why I like the mesmer. Oh, did they want like real reasons as to why the class is good? Because I'm not answering it like that. So.
Well, I made my mesmer because it was the prettiest outfit, and then I made a thief because I wanted a kitty. So those
What?
weren't good answers either.
Oh, the char. I was like a
The
kitty.
Sylvaris, because I wanted to be
Yeah,
green.
kitty.
We are so awesome.
So-
This is great answers. Mike, why did you pick your character?
I actually picked Ranger because it was the most fun for me in beta, and for the longest time, as soon as the Asura came out, I was going to be an Asura because I thought it was just kind of goofy and fun. And then on the very last stress test of the beta, I realized that the outfits on all the Asura
Yep.
looked like a little kid going trick-or-treating. And I said, I cannot have that. I got to have decent looking outfits. So I switched up to my original idea of a Sylvari because I thought the lore would,
Yes.
or that it would work out better. So my main is a Sylvari Ranger. But then I've also got my only game that I've ever played alts. I've got a Norn female warrior that's just a big chick that's going to knock your head off. And mine is better than Belial's, even though he stole the Mantras.
Okay.
Yes.
Cleared up. It's on record now. Now the truth is out there.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I agree with you though. When I saw the Asura, I was like, oh my god, look at these cool jump animations and the way they run and stuff. But then I was like, I can't see my weapon. like he's like, I have a great sword. I'm like, what is that? That's a pen. I don't understand. So yeah, I have to be able to see my shit. I like, and now I have. Although I had saved the name Tiny Triage because I wanted it for an Asura, but today I just made Tiny Triage the tallest Norn humanly possible as an elementalist. So that's what we did.
I like Asuras for thieves. They're, I just always like the smaller characters that'll stealth up on you and kill you, because people hate that.
Like I said, you can make a fat, chubby Asura and it's adorable, but other than that, they're rats.
That's as close as you get to a Quaggan.
Okay, so I'm so glad that we took questions. This is what our podcasts have devolved to. We bring on guests, we take random questions, and we talk about absolutely nothing, which is great. I love it. I think it's great. Any more questions?
Those were legit answers.
I feel like we should have more here. Something else here? Let's see.
Any questions that we missed?
Yeah, like interesting things, like why is your favorite color pink, or why is Rux still wearing a sweater and not showing her boobs? These are legitimate questions, just like our answers were.
Yeah, let's hear a legitimate answer then, Rex.
Yeah, why are you still wearing a
It's
sweater?
kind of warm. I don't know.
She's like, it is kind of warm. Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
It's kind of warm.
I'm totally making that an animated GIF. That is happening. Are you guys single? That's one of the questions. Are you guys single?
Are you guys single?
No, me and Mike are dating, and Rux is dating my cat.
Me and Miranda and I are. No, I'm dating Miranda.
Oh,
Yeah, Rex and me are a thing now.
that's
Rux
hot.
has
We're an
actually
item.
got ownership of both Miranda and another person in our
I do.
guild,
I
Bilal.
do.
Yeah, so we just had a guild auction, and
Yeah.
yeah, we did a guild auction, and people could buy people in the guild and make them do things for them.
I'm gonna make Miranda do lots of things. It's gonna be great.
Uh-huh. We might need to turn the podcast off now. I need to go have alone time. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. This has been alltabme.com, podcast number 17, how to make the switch and all sorts of other shit, as well as Pink Day LA. We will see you guys in game, hopefully. Remember to check us out at alltabme.com. Wednesday this will be live, and hopefully we can see you next
Wait,
Monday at
this guy has
5:15
something to say.
p.m. Eastern.
No waiting.
Why do you keep stopping me? What? I can't end the podcast.
There's people.
I know there's people, but you gotta end it eventually. We're just gonna be here all night. All right, what is it?
What is the cat's name?
What's
Yeah,
what's
what's the cat's name?
my cat's name? Like the one that's licking itself right now?
Yeah, the fat orange one.
Yeah, the fat one is called Fatty. His real name is Tomas, and the girl is called Whore, and her real name is Sophia. And if you met them, well, you've seen this one. He is fat, and therefore his name is Fatty. And the whore, it comes from the fact that when you walk into the house, no matter who you are, she has to headbutt you and meow at you as if, and she has to then sit on my lap and stare you down like, why are you here? You're taking my man. So,
How does
She's a
that make
whore.
her a whore?
she's a whore. She rubs on people and then she comes to me. What is that? That's a whore. I'm not her pimp. She thinks I'm her pimp. I'm not her pimp. She's a cat. I can't be a cat pimp. I'd have to have a cat thing. I'd have to have
What the
whiskers.
hell are you talking about?
I have no idea.
You're the one who started him on this.
Anyway.
I didn't ask him to go into this whole thing. The person just asked what the cat's name was.
So, thanks again for watching.
Anyway.
We will see you guys next week.